Americans held hostage, abandoned behind enemy lines. Day 51.
All right, welcome to Hannity Busy News Night. Day 51, our fellow Americans, that's right, abandoned. Thousands of Americans, green card holders eligible to be in this country, abandoned. Afghan allies, tens of thousands of them abandoned. Their families abandoned behind enemy lines thanks to Joe Biden. And tonight it is more clear than ever. Joe Biden, his radical socialist friends are completely, totally incompetent and clueless and have no desire to help bail out our fellow Americans. They caused this. This was entirely preventable, and they're not lifting a finger to help Americans in need. Everything they do causes an unmitigated disaster. Look at the record. Afghanistan, the border, COVID-19, Labor Day last year versus this year, 300% increase. Look at the economy. Look at inflation. Look at eliminating energy independence that we had achieved under the Trump administration for the first time in 75 years. We're now all paying about $1.50 more a gallon, and Joe's begging OPEC to produce more energy. By the way, Joe, you could ask Texas and Oklahoma and North Dakota and Alaska. They can increase their production, and guess what? We can be energy independent again. You can secure the border, finish the wall, keep the Remain in Mexico policy. That problem will be solved, too. And by the way, you should go back and get our fellow Americans in Afghanistan. Biden's approval ratings at an all-time low. And this year, at sporting events all across the country, Jimmy Kimmel, pay attention. Guess what? They've been chanting the following: F Joe Biden, en masse. Take a look.
Joe Biden!
Biden administration's a train wreck. Democrats are in a civil war, and you, the American people, have no reason to be happy over any of this. And over the weekend, more chants. Look at Talladega Speedway over the weekend. Take a look.
Just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me you can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon.
It's happening everywhere, spontaneously. The media mob, they're doing everything possible to protect Joe Biden. First, it was the candidate protection program. Now it's the presidential protection program. A task, by the way, that's growing more impossible by the hour. Now, another crisis for Joe Biden. His insane spending bills, socialism bills, they are now stuck in limbo. They cannot be passed at the moment. Doesn't seem like any time in the near future. Majorities in the House, the Senate, Democrats are unable to pass their own trillion-dollar infrastructure bill, as well as their radical New Green Deal socialist bill, $3.5 trillion, their Build Back Better proposal that raises taxes on all of us in spite of their lying. The holdup, of course, we have a Civil War standoff between liberal Democrats and then the more socialist, bordering on statist communist Democrats. On Friday, what many are calling a weird, hollow gesture, Joe Biden did nothing. He just limped over to the Capitol and encouraged his fellow Democrats to get along and to play nice. But here's the interesting part. According to a Politico reporter, Joe actually attempted. He was willing to take questions from other congressmen and senators in the press. His staff, again, oh, I'm going to get in trouble. No, they get mad at me. They're going to yell at me. If I take a question, I'm not allowed. Joe, you're the president. It's almost as if Joe Biden isn't in charge, isn't it? In other words, his staff knows he's a cognitive mess. Now, we do know for a fact that radical socialists, they're ruling the Democratic Party with an iron fist. And per usual, they are definitely not playing nice. This weekend, look at this in Arizona. One unhinged group of activists, including several illegal immigrants, stalking Democratic Senator Kristen Sinema. They chased her into a bathroom stall and stayed outside the stall and kept filming. Wow.
We need a Build Back Better plan right now.
We're not that door. We need solutions. The Build Back Better plan has the solutions that we need.
Going to stand there and film while she's going to the bathroom? Senator Sinema, one of only 2 Democrats refusing to rubber stamp Biden's insane, and it is insane. We can't afford it. These policies will fail. These are false promises. You will give up your freedom. It will result in more poverty, like every socialist utopia, in the past has done. And by the way, $3.5 trillion, their eco-socialist amnesty for all spending bill. And tonight she's calling out Democratic leadership for their, quote, inexcusable, deeply disappointing actions. And Senator Sinema's colleague, Joe Manchin, also refusing to sign off on this monstrosity. And the liberal Democrat from West Virginia will only commit to a mere $1.5 trillion bill. OK, some level of fiscal responsibility, I guess. I don't think we should be spending a penny, especially after all the money we had to spend as it relates to the worst pandemic since 1917 and 18. Even Manchin is confronted by activists on his houseboat on the Potomac. But first, you might be wondering, what does Joe Biden think about his fellow Democrats being stalked and harassed by other Democrats? You would think that maybe Joe Biden would speak out, right? According to Joe, it's just part of a process for those that don't enjoy the Secret Service protection that he enjoys. Take a look.
Joe Manchin had people on kayaks show up to his boat to yell at him. Senator Sinema last night was chased into a restroom. Do you think that those tactics are crossing a line?
I don't think they're appropriate tactics, but it happens to everybody. From the only people it doesn't happen to are people who have Secret Service standing around them. It's part of the process.
Just part of the process. You won't stick up for your fellow senators. I guess then it's all part of the process. You getting F. Joe Biden all over every stadium around the country, getting followed into a bathroom stall videotape while going to the bathroom. Is that part of the process you support, Joe? Whatever happened to standing up for a woman's right to privacy? What about showing up at someone's house and shouting them down where they live? That's part of the process, Joe? And what if someone came to your basement during your midday nap, Joe? It's not appropriate, it's wrong, it's unethical, and you should have stuck up for both Manchin and Sinema. Mob rule is never part of the process, Joe, but that's right. You wouldn't even talk about the 534 riots in the summer of 2020. Democrats only want to talk about January 6th. They don't want to talk about the riots that killed dozens of Americans, injured thousands of cops, pelted with bricks and rocks and bottles and Molotov cocktails, and dozens of people killed, thousands of cops injured. And Joe Biden, he's been what he's been his entire life, a dishonest, lifelong swamp sewer politician ingrained with always swamp. Now, true to form, Joe Biden just can't stop lying about the $3.5 trillion, quote, Build Back Better bill. It's all bumper sticker and a slogan and a lie. You know, he's someone that actually is claiming and still claiming, and people on his staff are claiming, that when you spend $3.5 trillion, it will cost you nothing. That's a lie. Even the Washington Post accused Biden of lying, gave him a few Pinocchios for that one, referring to his lie as a dubious gimmick. That's being polite. It's a lie. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.